Chad, start with the running back rotation. You guys, sort of narrowed that a little bit this week. Why, and do you like what you got, or want to see more for others, or what?
A little bit of both. I like what we got in the room. We just gotta, find some guys that got some juice. And JJ had a great week of practice last week. He played exactly like he practiced. And I mean by like, we went against the defense in competitive periods that we do every week. The physicality, the determination, the urgency he ran with on Saturday. He practiced that way, so he literally practiced exactly like he played like he practiced. But also, a lot of them guys try to find a rhythm, establish a rhythm, and then get going. And he got going, so kind of rode with him.
Is there some things he offers with the way Garrett plays, the running game, QB running game, that Johnson can add to that?
Yeah, it's just he gets downhill real fast. I always tell those guys, the faster we can get to the line of scrimmage, it eliminates TFLs and negative plays, and allows them guys to get beyond the line of scrimmage, a lot faster, and it keeps linebackers and safeties in particular from diagnosing run pass real fast. So it gives them an edge, and he has a really good ability to get to the line of scrimmage real fast and see it really well too.
I was doing some math here, and it looks like Garrett has had, I think it was 804 yards from scrimmage, all-purpose, the last two games. Do you have to fight the urge of not putting too much on him because you've had so much success with the things that Garrett's done?
Not really, man. Just let him play ball. I think he's his best when he just play ball. I think that's the best thing we're doing right now, letting him go out there and play ball. I always got to eliminate there's not a lot of mistakes, but it's critical mistakes, and it's at the wrong time. And so we got to eliminate those, but, just let him play ball.
Well, I noticed the little wrinkle you guys put in with the reverse motion with the wide receiver, him as the lead blocker, and then kind of that counterplay with Garrett. Are there things that you're seeing that you're coming up with that are like, hey, we can use him in this situation, or this gives us this certain look, we can do things off of that? Is it getting to that point now? It
is getting to that point because he's been such a factor with the obviously being able to throw the ball and being able to run the ball. So you can use his ability to do both to grab the attention of defenders and keep them from keep it honest and allow different lanes within the offense and create other opportunities for guys.
You guys have not done well offensively coming out of the gate.
Yeah.
First quarter and third quarter at the locker room. What's the remedy for that, or is there a remedy for that?
The remedy for it is we got to continue to emphasize that in practice, and we've done a good job of that. And the last couple of weeks of practice, we start out every practice with a competitive period versus our defense, in which that's exactly what we're trying to emphasize. And so now the first period of I say this, the first period of Tuesday's practice last week was not we did not start fast. And so we got to be consistent from that standpoint of practice. But that is something we do every practice to emphasize that and get better at it. And the emphasis this week is to come out. And I told those guys this last week, we got confidence within ourselves where they know they can go downfield and score. It was evident in the end of the game against Houston. It was evident in last week's practice. I think I mentioned that to you all in a 2-minute situation where we went downfield and scored and at the end of half at practice. And then we did it, with 5 minutes to go right before halftime this past game, where it's just the confidence that those guys exuberated within that huddle. Like, they just knew they were going to go down and score the football. We got to have that same mentality when we start games. We got to have that same mentality when we're up, and not just that mentality when we're down. And I think that's the one element we're missing, just that little notch, just get over, almost like a killer instinct, so to speak, that once we're up, have that same mentality as if we're down. But we do have to start fast, and that's an emphasis for us to do that in practice.
Maybe too conservative. We've had 14 first possessions, 7 games of third quarter, first quarter, out of the locker room. And 9 times I think CJ's gotten the ball on the first play. I mean, could it be that you might have to loosen things up a little bit to make some more room?
No question. And guys like and the receivers making plays downfield is giving us a chance to do that. So there's no question about it. You're absolutely right. And we got receivers down that's making plays down the field, and we've done it last couple of weeks. We opened up the offense a lot more and took shots. We got to continue to do that because those guys making plays for us, and guys like E.J. Horton with his speed and keeping those guys out of the box. So absolutely.
In terms of Garrett's decision making. Where do you feel that is now from where it was the beginning of the season? How has that progressed? What's your evaluation of it?
Whole lot better. Just the critical mistakes at the wrong times. You know, lot better. He understands what he's seeing. He understands what he's doing. He's just gotta, you know, sometimes the way I put it, I mean, I always tell him, you know, he got players around him. He don't have to make all the plays, and you know, sometimes, you know, an incompletion or a ball, you know, thrown at the ground or out of bounds ain't always a bad play. You know, he feels like he can make all of them, and that's one of the fine lines as a coach where, you know, everyone to take that kind of creative ability from a kid, but he has to understand with the maturity and experience he's had throughout his career that, you know, he can't make, you know, detrimental mistakes at certain times of the game. But his decision-making has definitely gotten better. He's got to play smarter at times.
How about his completion percentage? How do you, I mean, does that go back to the layups, or is that you throwing the ball down the field?
Yeah, it is. Exactly right. It's the layups. And it's, again, like taking what the defense gives you. You know, every play, you know, we've done a good job hitting some explosive plays in the past game, last couple of weeks. But it's got to be able to take, you know, to take what the defense gives you. Sometimes they give you a, you know, 4 or 5 yard gain. Take that. Just move the chain. Just get yards. You know, but you're exactly right. It'll improve if he does that. And then as he continues to do that, gives guys the opportunity to run out the catch, get yards after contact, and, you know, defense start coming down. We'll run the ball, and we'll suck the safeties up into the box, and we get a one-on-one situation we've got a couple times and hit the big ones downfield. But you're exactly right. He got to, you know, take what the defense gives him.
Chad, the interception and the third down the red zone seems like the two plays you all circled. That's probably easy to coach through, right? But the keep on the red zone, on the fourth down play, how do you teach that one? Because that happened so fast, and it looked like the middle was swallowed up. He didn't get great help on the outside blocking. That's a hard talking point, I would think.
It is tough, but you got to, you know, like his read was clearly to hand that ball off. It's tough. And then, you know, you just gotta think at that particular time, you know, fourth down, just, you know, get a ball to the 240-pound kid and let him get downhill, and, you know, but it is tough. But, you know, he saw his read, but his read told him to get the ball. You just got to get the ball, you know.
And then you mentioned before, and Neil mentioned it today, that Jaheim still learning to practice a little bit. You can coach guys how to play, right?
Yeah.
You have to coach guys how to practice too.
Man, this week here, I'm like the coach energy. I'm on that kid every step of the way. He gonna do everything right this week. He gonna be where he's supposed to be. He gonna do what he's supposed to do, and he gonna press like he's supposed to practice. He gonna run fast like he's supposed to run fast. And so we go play him because he can do things with the ball in his hand, and we need it. So I'm gonna be on him every step of the way this week, so we can get that done, because he can make things happen with the ball in his hand. He can do stuff I can't coach, and we need that on the football field.
Chad, we talked to Preston Fox a little while ago, so give us your impression. Start with you when you first saw him. When did you sort of realize he had a chance to be more than just an average walk-on for you and could become a contributor?
For me, man, me personally, about 4 years ago, I love that kid. He's always made phenomenal catches. You know, being in the position I am now, I've always made sure, like, fought for the guys that, you know, I've always talked about it, man. There's talent equal to production. That kid's always producing, and he deserves to be on the football field, you know, and I'm glad he's playing the way he's playing. He's very resilient. Obviously had some tough drops early in the season, and, you know, done a phenomenal job keeping his chin up, being courageous to continuously come back and work at his craft and keep getting better, keep fighting it. And he shows the whole offense that you don't have to just necessarily be just special in your ability, just be special in the little things. I always tell the guys, be magical in the little things, and the great things that we all want and that we all expect to happen will happen. And he just does the littlest things right and puts himself in the position to make the plays he makes. And then when his number is called, he makes those plays. And we love it, and we need him to continue to do it, because it comes at crucial times for us. And so he's been great for us. I love him.
With the way UCF plays offensively and the way they use the whole field and what they're capable of doing, does that influence you at all offensively and what you guys do?
No, not really. You know, I emphasize every week, we got to, first of all, I always want to control the clock. Play smart ball. Goes back to, talking about with Garrett. You know, sometimes we got some movement plays where we can get him out the pocket right now and threaten the defense with his ability to be able to run and throw the ball, which also creates lanes for us. And he got to take what the defense gives him. You know, sometimes that's 4 or 5 yard pass, take that, right? And then we've shown to be pretty efficient, you know, running the football, whether it's him running it or any one of the backs running it. And we've been pretty consistent controlling the clock. So for us, we just got to allow us to play the way we continue playing, regardless of whatever they do offensively. We got to be efficient, run the football, play clean football, and take care of the football, which we did not do last week.
You go into the game thinking, well, we've got to score points. We're going to have to score touchdowns based on the way they're capable of playing offensively, though, right?
Absolutely, and we can. You know, the first couple of weeks we didn't score as much as we wanted to score. Last 2 weeks, we've shown the ability to be able to get in the 30s and score. We can do it. They can do it. And I told them yesterday, man, they just got to believe they can do it. They got the ability. Everybody that touches the ball on offense has the ability to go do something special with it, and they all got to believe that. And I told them that yesterday, and then they got to have that same belief they have whenever they're down, that they know they're going to go down and score. We got to have that same belief when we start games to start fast. Got to have that same belief coming out of half to start half. So we got to have that same belief when we're up and we got opportunity to go score and take over the game.
We talked a few weeks ago after CJ kind of had a rough game. You talked about him needing to be better. How would you evaluate him in the last couple games in particular, and just overall all season?
Well, overall, not as good as he need to be all season, honestly. I mean, he's just got to keep plugging. Man, he's getting better. He's watching a lot more film, and he's practicing better. He's resilient as well, and he's got to continue to get better. And he's running a lot more harder than he had in the beginning. Not in the beginning, he had a couple of games he ran the ball hard. He's got to be consistent doing it, and he'll get back to being that person that he once was.
Is it just a matter of just playing ball? He's getting to the point where maybe he's getting so much information, so many things.
He just got
be
to
a
go.
ball player?
He just got to go play freely. He just got to let it stop thinking, stop listening, stop worrying, and just go play freely. Like I was telling him, last year in his first game, I remember going to our first walkthrough. He said, "Coach, I don't know when I'm going in the game, but all I know, when I go in, I'm a ball." And I was telling him, you got to have the same mentality. You got to play like a freshman, like a freshman mentality in the sense where you didn't know what you didn't know. You didn't know that you have any expectations, no pressures, anything. You just going to go out there and play freely. You thought you was invincible. You could do anything and everything. You got to have that same mentality. The game hadn't changed. You got older. You got more experience. People know who you are, but you just got to have that same mentality and go play. So he has ability and he got phenomenal talent. He just got to go play freely.